the general trend that we were first talking about towards moving into the city, that came about simply because the nature of work changed. Back in the 1970s, when we think about Australia, we're thinking about the working class Australia, where, sure, there are a couple of rich folks, there are a couple of poor folks, but essentially we all have middle class jobs, live middle class lives, have middle class dreams. These were the jobs in manufacturing, the heyday of the union movements in the 70s. That's the kind of stuff that we think of when we think about Australia. But we have transitioned out of this Australia for the last 50 years, really, where we now have only a very small share of the workforce working in manufacturing, in trade type jobs. And we have been transitioning towards a knowledge economy, where more people have those jobs that are tended to be situated in the office towers of the CBD. So therefore, all of a sudden, because those jobs that we created, they benefited from clustering near other jobs that are just like this. A banker needs to be near an accountant, needs to be near their clients. All those IT folks, even though they're digital jobs, they benefit from meeting in person. So therefore, everybody wanted to have their jobs in the CBD. So people, the ones that could afford it, moved reasonably close to the CBD. This is when the apartment lifestyle occurred. Everything concentrated in the CBD, in the city center. And so we created those star-shaped commuting patterns that everybody hates. Those full trams and trains and clogged highways in the morning or in evening. It's a nightmare for a traffic planner to operate like this. And for house prices, it's a very difficult thing, because simply the closer to the CBD you go, roughly spoken, the more expensive housing gets. And so the poorer workers, they have to move to the outer suburbs of the big cities in order to be able to afford a house if they want to buy, or to rent cheaply or reasonably cheaply in the inner city. And that's where we got to just before the coronavirus hit. And all of a sudden, the idea of the 60s of owning a house with a white picket fence and a bit of a backyard seems very, very appealing, because the city all of a sudden became a bit, dangerous, if you will, from a corona perspective, and simply because the job location changed. A year ago, the job would have been in the city center tower. And now the job location is your living room, and your living room is wherever you live. So you might as well move to the outer suburbs, even move to a lifestyle location, move to a regional town that is reasonably well connected via a train or road, so you can occasionally go back to the city center. So in just a year's time, really, we completely changed the way that the CBD interacts with the rest of the city. And this will shape the way Australia works for quite a while.